Welcome to the Chatty Bear podcast. I'm Amit Bhaskar and she's Geraldine Sangalang.
Every Wednesday and Saturday, we share a new podcast. We're hoping that our experiences can help support you as you go on your own adventures.
If you're watching us on YouTube, make sure that you subscribe our channel. If you're listening us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and Amazon Music, make sure you follow us to stay updated with our podcast.
This is our second episode of our podcast, and we're going to discuss our experience at Dinner in the Sky.
Yeah. So we came to Dubai on 23rd, as you know from the previous episode, and on the second day of our arrival here, we were invited for this experience, and it was I have to say, like, it's once in a lifetime experience if you are in Dubai, and you should go for it. So today we'll be talking about how it felt for us and what to do and what not to do, or what to expect from them.
So why were you interested in doing this? Because when you told me about the booking, to be honest, I was scared. I didn't really want to go, but I don't like saying no to opportunities. So tell me a little bit about what interested you about this experience.
So I live in Delhi, and there is a place called Noida which is very close to Delhi, and there actually this Dinner in the Sky concept came. And even before that, last year, I think last year when we were in Malaysia, there in Kuala Lumpur, the Dinner in the Sky concept was very new, right in front of KL Towers, and I saw it there for the first time, and I was like fascinated with it, like how it feels to be dining in the sky. So I actually tried to book it in Kuala Lumpur for us, but it wasn't possible because it was new there. It was all booked all the time. Then in Delhi, I didn't want to go in Delhi because I know even if you are dining in the sky, there is no view to see. So you need like high rises or ocean to be your view, right? So then I found out about Dubai Dinner in the Sky, and nothing can be better experience than dining in the sky in the middle of high rises. And one side you have ocean, other side you have Dubai Marina, so that's the best view. So I contacted Dinner in the Sky Dubai, and luckily we were invited to experience the whole thing. So when we came to Dubai on 23rd, 2-3 days after, we were invited and we went there. And the reason I'm very attracted to this is because it's just the thrill of it. Everybody is scared of height, and to conquer that fear, and not just conquer it, you just go there and you eat food, like most relaxing thing ever. So that's what I wanted to experience.
I realized in Malaysia when we were at a tourist attraction that I completely panicked. I froze when we were on this glass bridge, or it wasn't even a full bridge, it was a little platform. And standard, of course, you stand there, you take some photos, and you can kind of, spread out and enjoy the space. And I could not move another centimeter. I was essentially at the threshold, and that's the farthest I could go. So my fear about Dinner in the Sky was, what happens if I panic? Presumably there's no plan B. I didn't actually ask that question because I thought, oh my goodness, we've been honored by this invitation. It's a wonderful opportunity. I didn't want to flake myself, but I thought, I don't really know what happens.
And they didn't even have the glass to stand on.
No. The other thing that surprised me about Dinner in the Sky is that I truly, probably because of my fear, I didn't want to look into it. I didn't realize that your chair can swivel 360 degrees. I didn't realize that you can lean back all the way. So Amit, who was far more comfortable than me, would lean back, and you would see others do the same. And I also didn't realize for some reason that the entire dinner table platform could rotate. So that freaked me out. But to be completely honest, it felt very safe. My voice is cracking. That's no indication that I did not feel unsafe. It was one of those things where if you're just seated at the table with your feet on the little step, you're totally fine. And yeah, because I was interested to know how it feels when they hoist you up, because it's 50 meters in the sky, you're above Dubai Marina, and you're seeing all of the monuments that you've been exploring on the ground. But yeah, no, it seemed very seamless. We did a countdown as a group, which is fun, but also if you have anxiety about heights, then that does not help. But it's not like a 0 to 60, like there you're in the sky. Like it was a good, gradual, comfortable movement.
And the staff with you actually makes it fun. So they know that there might be people who are scared of height. So those countdowns and background music and all the shouting and cheering is meant to just calm you down and make you feel like it's going to be okay. But I'll add the footage here for the people watching us on YouTube. You can see how seamlessly it goes up. So there's no shock value there. It just goes very smoothly. So yeah, lift off was very satisfying, because once you reach up to a level, you start feeling the pressure in your ears. So you have reached a particular height.
Perhaps we should start at the beginning. So would you like to describe what it was like to arrive at the facility?
Yeah. So after you reach there, you enter a lobby. First of all, you are coming from heat, and the moment you enter the lobby, it's very relaxing and very chilled out. And you are welcomed with I think lemon drink or something. So you are free to just go ahead and serve yourself. You can rest there. There are portable ACs all around the lobby, so it's very cool down place.
Speaking to the drinks, it is pretty amusing. So it was some kind of juice drink and some kind of water, but it was kind of an odd thing where they were like little shot glasses. So I remember looking at this thing like, okay, I'll help myself to a beverage, and I thought to myself, are these shots, or is there a reason why we're serving in these little cups? It was just a weird thought, because I know that the perception is that this is this amazing once in a lifetime VIP experience, and then it was like, here are some plastic shot glasses for your water. It was just kind of this weird thing.
So once you reach the reception, they give you a form, which I haven't read, but I'm very sure somewhere in that form it's written that if you die out of fear, it's not their fault. So we just ended up signing the form, and then they give you a passport which looks like this. So we got our passport, and then you just rest in the lobby, or you can go out of the lobby towards the platform, click photos, or you can just chill out outside. But the weather in Dubai right now is not to chill outside, so we just stood inside, enjoyed the AC, and waited for our time.
The purpose of the passports as well is that it's your menu card. So in order to have your dinner ready, what they do is you pre-order based on your time and your dietary preferences. So on the menu, it speaks specifically to which session we're planning to attend, what is your starter, your main dish, and then your dessert. It was very comforting to know that there are lockers available at the facility. There's no cost to you. You can just go ahead and use it. There's a temporary lock. You can lock your things in there. Most folks don't have a lot of things with them, but it's good to know. I left in there a large bag with camera equipment, tripods, pieces like that. So don't think that it's this tiny waste of space little locker. Like, it was quite substantial. So part of my concern as well was, how's it going to feel in the air? At some point I thought to myself, is this actually the right day, or should we consider rescheduling to another day? And it was very comforting when I spoke with staff actually in the air already, because I didn't want to say no to the opportunity. They explained that Dinner in the Sky actually doesn't operate at certain times during certain times of the year, and it's specifically for that reason. It's because they don't want you up there where you're stuck up there for the 55 minutes and just sweltering and uncomfortable. Also, if you heard about sandstorms in the past, they don't operate on those days. There's a warning for that. So I felt the need. So for me, it was very comforting to know that that's taken into consideration, because as a tourist, there's only so much you know going into it. I just knew I was hot on the ground, what's going to happen up there. Were you worried about that at all, the temperature?
No, I wasn't, because I knew, like, when you reach a particular height, the airflow and everything will make it comfortable, and that's how exactly it felt. Like, we were not even sweating there. Like, we were there for like...
That's not true. I was sweating. So I was more comfortable than... I was as comfortable as I could have expected to be. But when you look at the footage, I was sweating quite a lot. Like, I was quite warm. Even though there's a bit of a breeze, of course, it's 50 meters in the sky, right? So let's talk about my favorite thing, which is the food. So I did mention that you pre-order before you arrive. So you're looking forward to what it is you're going to eat. You're wondering what it's going to be like, especially in the sky. The other thing too is that I'm actually not sure who the caterer was for this particular dinner. I know that in the past, hotel catering like the Ritz-Carlton and the Westin, in the past, I know that hotel catering like the Ritz-Carlton and the Westin, even as late as 2021, was used, but I just didn't ask for us who the caterer was. We just know that it's a team of chefs. But Amit ordered, the starter was the mixed Middle Eastern set, the main course was a beef dish, and then for dessert it was a fruit potpourri. So would you like to tell us about the food that you ate?
When they invited us via the email, they asked us to select the food from the menu. So I went ahead and checked their website for the menu, and in the starters they had like 2-3 options. In mains they had 4 options, and then the desserts again 2-3 options, and you had to choose one from each. So because we are 2 people, I decided to choose I like the Arabian food, Middle Eastern food, so I went for that. I think the food was incredible. I also tried beef there, and I felt like it was a little chewy, but the rest everything was fine. The dessert was incredible. The starter was fine.
I mean, the beef does make sense because if you think about it, did you watch what the actual cooking process was like? Did it look like they were cooking it live? To be honest, I was so distracted by the view, I'm not quite sure.
So they were not cooking live. I think they were making the plates and heating the like fish and other stuff, which required fire flame and all. So they were using like gas flame for that. So that was happening, but I'm very sure that the food was pre-cooked, and it doesn't mean that the food was bad. It was pre-cooked and it was fresh. So in the I like the starter the most because it was Middle Eastern starter with the hummus, which I like the most, and I think the hummus they gave us was the best hummus I have ever had in Dubai till now. So I was telling Geraldine that just the shape of that hummus, the way they served it to us, it was very incredible. And it had little samosas, like we call it samosas in India, but here it was something else. I liked starters the most. I liked mains as well, but beef was chewy. Dessert was incredible as well. Yeah. What about you?
Well, I suppose too, it's important to share that our seating was, so if you imagine a rectangular long table, we were seated sort of at one of the ends of the table. There were large groups, and they were mostly seated towards the longer end. I guess we were on the shorter ends, which is perfectly fine. There's 3 seats on either short end, and then a number of seats in the middle. So based on where we were seated, you could see a beautiful shot down the long table of the 4 catering staff who were there. But yeah, I couldn't see the food being prepared just because, of course, they're working. I'm not going to ask anybody to move. But I think it is important to share that if you really want to get shots or observe what it's like for that cooking process up in the sky, it would be better to select a seat more towards the middle, because then you'll get the perspective of everyone working on that end. But yeah, there were big groups there. We weren't going to wrestle our way. And to be fair as well, we were invited to select seats. So for us, we just thought it would be good to sit there, but you might want to select differently.
Yeah. Having said that, if you are wondering about which seat to choose to have a better view or great view, I think any seat will work, because once you are up, it actually rotates. So irrespective of where you are sitting, actually you will have 360-degree view all the time. It's rotating all the time, and in fact the staff is very nice. So once you take out your camera, they know that you want some photos. So they take your cameras, they ask for it, and then they click amazing photos, because they are in front of you. Their perspective towards us is like with the view. So the photos they click are the most amazing ones, and they're very trained for this. Like, they have been doing it for so long, I guess. They take the photo and photo turns out to be awesome.
I asked this one this one staff member who was helping us take photos, because this person was so excited to help us. But as you can imagine, because we were there for media, there were specific shots we were trying to get. We were trying to take some video to explain the perspective of how food tasted, things like that. But I wasn't going to say, give me my camera back, because he's a lovely person, and also the shots were beautiful, as Amit explained. Yeah. But I asked this person, how often do you come up here, and is it annoying to be up here? Do you feel stuck? And this young person said, no, it's lovely every time. And you could feel he was beaming, like he was so excited to help and take these photos, because he had seen this view so many times. And even though he had seen this view so many times, he still wanted to help you get that ideal shot, which was also very charming. It really helped with the ambiance and the comfort to know that, yeah, it's no big deal. We're here all the time. And they explained they're there for a couple of the servings, and then they go off. I don't know if that's the standard.
How about your food? How did you like it?
How did I like the food? I mean, so the starter that I selected was the Italian Burrata. So that's really a cheese. So that, as you can expect, or not as you can expect, that was wonderful. It was plump, and when you cut into it, the interior, as burrata should, it did spread very lovely. So that was really great. The main course that I had was the fish dish. I think that if you don't really like the taste of fish, you might not enjoy it. And I say this not because it tasted fishy, but because when you look at it, it doesn't look like it's fully seared. There's some parts that were a little bit perhaps more translucent than folks would feel comfortable with. I really liked the taste of the fish, but I did not actually enjoy the vegetables that accompanied it. I just felt like the dish overall, the flavors didn't blend. It almost tasted like forgive me, like a sweet and sour Chinese food sauce with tomatoes and red peppers on this really delicate fish. So it was a really weird thing to enjoy the view and then kind of taste this thing where it was like, I don't understand where we're going here with, but whatever. Beautiful presentation though. There was a little bit of mashed potatoes, and it was served as kind of little decorated bits. That was beautiful, but just so for the food. And I was very disappointed by dessert. I'm sad to say. I'm a sweet tooth. It's really hard to disappoint me with dessert. But my selection in advance was a chocolate sphere, and what arrived looked like a bread pudding with ice cream. So I don't quite understand what happened, particularly because we stuck around for the evening to take photos and video, of course, and social media, I could see there were chocolate spheres later on. So I wasn't saying anything at the time, because presumably if it's not there, it's not there. And there was no option on the menu for what I saw. It tasted good. I'm a sweet tooth. I'm very happy to eat any sugary treat you put in front of me. But yeah, it looked like squares of banana bread with a plonk of vanilla ice cream. I don't recall the flavor of the ice cream at this moment. I remember it tasting good. Maybe it was more of a citrus flavor. But yeah, I was very disappointed by dessert. So coming into this experience, what kind of energy or ambiance were you expecting to experience?
When you see the videos online or the photos, it feels like there is always a DJ party going on. That seems to be totally possible after 9-10 p.m. and I think it happens. But I chose specific time in the evening where we could take the daytime photos as well as we could see the sunset. So our timing was 5:30 till 6:30. And I think we were successful in seeing the daytime Dubai skyline, ocean, and the sunset both. So I expected, I actually expected good view, and it was there. So I wasn't disappointed with the experience. It was all great. Mains like beef was chewy. I'm saying it again. That could have been better, but. Yeah, once you are there, food is your least priority, I guess, if you are into the views. Yeah, you're not going there for food, you can eat anywhere. So you're there, you're just looking around, and it's just yeah, irrespective of how long you stay there, it's not enough.
Wait, that's actually a really good point, is that I said it too, just naturally, you're so distracted by the views that it's hard to pay attention to the food. And to be completely honest, I felt very rushed eating because I was quite aware that we're running out of time. It's time to go down soon. I suppose for me, it's important to share that if you are planning to go for a romantic date, or something like that, then I don't really think it's the place to take someone, because the food, the view, stunning. So if you're trying to take someone out and really impress them with something they've likely never done before, go for it. And frankly, friends, there seems to always be a Groupon, so check that out. There's always some deal for dinner in the sky. But yeah, food was not really there. So if you're there to impress her with food, but
with the view,
it's up to you. Yeah, it's all about the view for sure. And to be honest too, the view is beautifully distracting. I love that, but the time was also distracting. So you're taking photos, you're enjoying the space, you're trying to decide, am I gonna swivel my chair? Nope, not comfortable, I'm gonna stay here. Amit's kind of leaning back, we're taking photos. In the meantime, you look in front of you and you think, oh no, I better eat some more, we gotta go, we're running out of time. Yeah, I think I found it more stressful, the whole I gotta enjoy it all, than Amit did.
Were you caught by your fear of height?
Was I caught by my fear of height? Only when I was trying to decide if I was gonna swivel. And the other time I got scared was because the table would be stationary, I believe. And then every once in a while, I don't know how often, the entire table would swivel. I think I referred to it as the swivel party, where it's like, okay, swivel party starting again. But it totally goes with the ambience that you were expecting, which is a bit of a party. So yeah, that scared me, but not enough to panic. And speaking to the safety piece as well that's related, something that really impressed me was that the tableware was so secure. So looking at the table itself, which was not massive, it was kind of a standard, like shorter than your arm length in front of you. There was really just one table mat, one mat, placemat. And then the table itself, it wasn't even that tacky. Like perhaps it was when it started in 2017.
Yeah.
But despite that little bit of wind and sway, nothing flew off. Everything was fine. I didn't feel the need to be protective of the things.
It's a very solid platform. You could feel it. It's all steel, iron, whatever it is, but it's very, very solid.
But also you're given glassware. So there were multiple wine glasses, metal utensils, napkin, like an actual cloth napkin, which I use. So that was amusing to realize. That's how stable we are, is that nothing's flying off, of course.
And another good thing is when this whole platform rotates, and if you feel like you missed a particular view, you can actually request to rotate it again. They just command it on microphone to the operator, and they just rotate it again. So yeah, it's you can actually do anything you want there, irrespective of the seat you have chosen.
Well, perhaps we should discuss harness. So there were, did we say 14 people, or did we see 14 people when we were there?
There are 14 seats, but I don't think there were 14 people in our batch.
No. So there's 22 seats max.
Oh.
But I think we had 14 guests or so with us, in total. And it was this really kind sort of army of folks come and help each of us connect our harnesses. So I think there were about 8 people helping with harness, and they kind of go around and they support you. They ask you to sit and move things around. I do want to share that if you are inclined to wear a skirt, it's better to avoid a very short skirt. I mean, you're in the sky, so it's up to you. But the reason why I mention this is because I was wearing a skirt, like a knee-length skirt, and part of the buckle actually goes between your legs. So you decide. If you're okay with a short skirt and a buckle between your legs, you do you. But if you're not comfortable with that, then I would avoid that. Maybe change into your clubbing outfit a little later. Any other comments you'd like to make about safety?
I felt safe.
Tell us about the things you did because you felt safe and adventurous.
Yeah, they put harness on you, and I think you don't even need it, but they put harness on you, and it's
Yes, you need it. Forget the liability. You need it.
yeah. It feels very safe. Like the seat itself is like gaming chair.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
it's very comfortable. It holds you,
Yeah.
and then you can literally rotate like this. If you're watching us on YouTube, like you can rotate properly.
You could probably cross your legs, actually. Yeah, there's a lot of space.
Yeah, if you're afraid of height, it will take you like, let's say, 5 minutes to just get used to the concept. But I think even for her, like who is afraid of height, she was getting comfortable with time, I guess, right? When the food comes, when people start talking, when people start taking out their cameras, clicking photos, rotating their chairs, it feels like, okay, it's going to be fine. Initially, it's the fear of what to expect. So I think it was very safe. I actually leaned back, and yeah, the photos are awesome. I'll just put it here. I leaned back, I revolved around the chair.
How did you feel when you leaned back?
You
What inclined you to lean back? And
Because-
was it worth it?
Yeah, because the guy in front of me said, like, you can lean back. I said, yes, I have seen photos, and I lean back. So I just turned up the lever, and I just went back.
Wait, there was a lever?
Yeah, there was a lever.
You pulled a lever up there? Oh my gosh, that's so scary. I would literally be like, what's gonna happen? Is this gonna pop off? Is my chair gonna be loose? Like, wait, so explain this lever. Was it just to
So on
hold
the-
you? Or?
No, on the right hand side there is a lever.
Okay.
So you pull that lever,
Yeah.
and then it takes you back. And you can go until you're comfortable, and then leave that lever. You'll stay like that.
Oh, I see.
And then when you have to come back, you just pull it again, it brings you back. So it was very safe, and leaning back was actually, it's like adrenaline rush that goes through, and you feel like, well, I can do this, and I can do way better things in life. So yeah, it takes out the fear. It takes out the fear from you, and yeah, I felt very safe. I have seen people sitting there, and they were very concerned. Their face was saying that they're very concerned about the height, and they're afraid and all. But at the end of the show, at the end of the dining experience, I could feel everybody was like, let's stay for more, something like that. So yeah, it takes out your fear. So even if you're afraid of height, you should experience this. Food is fine, view is amazing, and this is something you should do once in your life, or maybe twice or thrice. Yeah.
Okay, so for me, the heights thing, I consciously was not looking down. That was kind of my biggest personal challenge, is you gotta check it out down there, it looks cool, apart from the horizon. So I wanted to enjoy the view, but I consciously eventually looked down. That took me quite a while. Eventually though, I looked at the crane, and that scared me, because when you realize that that's kind of what is holding you, then it was just a bit too much. It was just like, stop thinking, enjoy, eat, it's sunny out, stuff like that. But yeah, I didn't lean back. The best that I could do was kind of swivel enough so that my feet could touch kind of my neighbor's footstool, and there was no person beside me, but that was the extent of that.
You moved your chair when I forced you a little bit to touch the glasses of photos.
Well, thank you for admitting that that's what happened, because how dare you?
Yeah, I think, yeah, when you go to these places, I think you should step ahead of your fear and like just try to do something new. I'm not very comfortable with height. Like I'm very uncomfortable with height and a view of ocean. So if I am at a height and below me is water, I'll be terrified. I'm terrified of water depth, not water. Like if I feel like there's an endless water source, I'll be very terrified. So I had ocean in front of me, but I was comfortable. That's why I'm saying it's a comfortable experience.
That's interesting. It's interesting because from my perspective, I'm very comfortable with water. So
Yeah.
the crane itself is in the middle of the desert, of course, on the sand. And so in my mind, if the whole thing falls, we're falling on the sand. It's done. In my mind, if we could fall in the water, I'll sort it out.
Yeah.
Like, of course, that's not true, but
So the crane they use here is like, it is capable of holding thousands and thousands of pounds. So it's, yeah, I don't think it's going to fall. It's a very strong crane.
didn't happen that day. What surprised me about the Dinner in the Sky experience is that it's a connecting communal experience. I didn't expect that. I don't actually go to dinner hoping to meet a bunch of people and kind of bring them into my world. But I think it's because you're nearby, like in close proximity. We're in a long table, right? And you're all experiencing this kind of weird thing, unless folks have done it before. You're kind of looking at each other to see how you're reacting. You're kind of peeking to see the other dishes, kind of smile at each other, because the servers will ask, are you celebrating something? So for us, there was, I believe, an anniversary and a birthday going on. So of course you chime in because it's good vibes and you're enjoying the space. So that surprised me, that it is a communal experience, that you're all kind of vibing off of each other, which is part of the allure here in Dubai.
With all these great experiences, I'll put this forward here. Like, I didn't like the timing of it. On website and everywhere it says it's a 1.5 hour experience, but when it goes up, we were there for like, I guess, 40 minutes only, 45 minutes. So I think it started lifting up at 5:20 and we were already down by 6 o'clock. So yeah, it's 40 minutes. But the next batch that I saw going up, they stayed there for like more than 1 hour. So yeah, that's the only complaint I have. The experience should have been longer. Yeah.
The food definitely surprised me as well. I mean, of course you understand that we're in the Sky, there's limitations to the kitchen, but then select items that can be made freshly there, because of course you're serving a very discerning group of people. They've chosen dinner in the Sky, not skydiving.
Yeah.
I'm here for dinner, I'm here to eat. I didn't plan to eat afterwards. I was curious to know if I'd be hungry afterwards. I think we were fine.
Apparently this place where this whole experience is in the area of skydiving emergency landing. So that gives you an idea. Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, that disappointed me for sure, the food. It was funny too, because when it comes, it's so beautiful. It's exactly like the view. It's so beautiful that you're just enamored with this. And then you start eating and you think, oh, what is this? Like, yeah.
Yeah. So overall experience, I would say, food, I can say it's like 7 out of 10.
6.
For me, the view is 10 out of 10. Like, this is one of the best views you can get. We have been to the Palm View, and that's the view of Palm Jumeirah. This is the whole marina experience. So yeah, I would say 9 by 10, I think. So if you're coming to experience dinner in the Sky, the prices actually differ from 600 dirham to 800 dirham, depending on the time and the day you're choosing to come. So check out their website for the exact pricing, and you can book it directly from the website. And they send you an email with the confirmation ticket and everything. You can take that to the desk there in the reception area. Then they'll give the passport and you can enjoy the experience.
We hope you enjoyed this episode on our visit in Dubai for the Dinner in the Sky. We publish a new episode every Wednesday and Saturday, and we hope to see you next time.
Goodbye.